What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Friends on Road Driving. Today we have my good buddy John's 2014 Mustang GT.
Hey guys, my name's John. This is my 2014 Mustang GT track pack, and yes, it does go on the track. Where to begin? I mean, I've had this car for about 5 years. When I was in college, always wanted a Mustang GT. Saw the 13-14 track pack and knew then I wanted one. So a couple years later, picked this thing up, used, 2 years old, had 20-ish thousand miles on it. Already had a lot of the mods done to it that I'll walk you through over the next few minutes. But yeah, I mean, saw the car on the dealer's lot, fell in love with it, and just bought it on the spot. Been happy with it ever since. So yeah, I mean, being the track pack, comes with the Brembo brakes, 373 Torsen rear ends, some upgraded cooling stuff, all the major upgrades you'd want to put in to take the car out on the track. Already has with the track pack from the factory. So wheels, these are the performance pack wheels from 15 and up S550. These are the wheels that came on the car when I got it. Have always kept these, haven't changed them out to all season tires. Being up in New England, kind of want to extend my season out. Got a second set of tires and wheels for the track, so more summer compound, grippy, so it's nice having two sets, but really like these wheels and the way it kind of pulls the car together. Suspension, car's got a little bit done to it, definitely not stock ride height. It's lowered 2 inches on sport lines, and then being it's a fairly aggressive drop for the track, also has all the associated mods done to it, adjustable control arms, BMR, lower, upper control arms, adjustable panhard bar, everything you need to make that aggressive drop and make everything line back up to factory alignment specs. With that, pretty low, but handles awesome on the track. Have no problems with it. Just rides really nice in my opinion with all these mods done to it. Yeah, and if we come around to the rear of the car, got a couple appearance mods back here and stuff you'll see. Has the beautiful 13-14 rear end tail lights. I know everyone 10 to 12 tends to gravitate towards these tail lights as an upgrade, so having the 14 and having them from the factory was a bonus. Previous owner added the GT500 rear spoiler. I think that just adds a whole bunch of extra look to the rear of the car. Kind of going with that GT500 theme, GT500 axle backs for the exhaust. You'll hear those a little bit later on. Paired with those, we got the Borla over the axle pipes, so resonator delete, and then Ford Performance X pipe to just kind of give it that really nice exhaust note. I think one of the key features that makes my car everyone knows it's my car because I have these red racing stripes with the white pinstripe on them. When I saw the car at the dealership, had the stripes on it originally, ended up fading out over the last 4 or 5 years, so last season completely stripped them off. Was debating whether or not I'd do a different color, but the red stripes are kind of my thing. Really enjoy it, and everyone knows it's my car, so I redid the red stripes the same way as they were, but just added a little white pinstripe to kind of change it up and do something new, and I think it looks killer. Alright guys, so mentioned this car was a track pack. Not only is it a track pack, but it has the factory Recaro seats. Very few cars this generation had them. I think it was like 300 or 400 of these GT Premiums ended up coming with these seats, so having that combined with the track pack is pretty unique in my mind. I think this is one of only a few kind of cars that are set up like this, which is really awesome for the track. The seats are super comfortable. You know, I drove 900 miles down here, drove for like 13 hours, no problems, seats were comfortable as hell. Other stuff that was done on the inside, GT 500 steering wheel. Again, keeping with this GT 500 theme. It's not a GT 500, but just kind of wanted a whole bunch of performance kind of upgrades. So it's got the GT 500 steering wheel. So you got the Alcantara, you know, grip points and stuff like that. So it just, you know, feels a little more comfortable. GT 500 shift knob, shift boots on both the parking brake and the shifter. So, I mean, all these mods kind of kept it as a really clean, stock looking, stock feeling, you know, upgraded features, but, you know, really clean and neat looking inside. All right, guys, enough talking about the car. Let's go take it for a ride and see how she drives.
All right, guys, so we are gonna go for a ride. John's gonna take us through and show us all about his car here. It's been a few years since I've been in this baby.
Yeah, it has. Ever since you moved down here.
Oh, I know.
Didn't stall out.
Yeah, that's always a plus.
That little hill start assist coming in clutch.
So all those years of wanting one of these cars, and you finally made it happen.
Finally made it happen. Loved it every minute.
Oh, I know. When I remember the whole thing, because I still got the truck. You had the Green Ranger. That was a manual.
Yep.
The 2010 Ranger was a manual.
Yeah, I've always owned manuals, or never not owned a manual, I should say.
And then this was the long-term plan.
Yeah, this was the long-term plan. So I had my 2010 Ranger. I mean, I loved that truck, but then ended up scooping up when my uncle got a new truck, picked up his 2003 F250. And that's kind of like my work truck, winter beater, what have you, being up in New England. And then at that point I had the Ranger and the F250, realized I didn't need two pickup trucks, and figured if I was still gonna have two cars, I might as well have, you know, fun car and then the work car, beater car.
Well, and it's funny to think back, because I remember back in high school, you talking about your uncle's truck, and how awesome, because that's got the V10. Some of you guys that may not as be familiar with those, that's a pretty big engine, 6.8 liters of American Fury.
Yeah, it was a really nice truck. I had always enjoyed that, and when the opportunity came up for him to sell it, I jumped on it. You know, got a good family discount on it.
Yeah.
You know, has a whole bunch of cool options on it. You know, up optioned XLT with moonroof, tow pack, FX4.
Yeah.
You know, some nice custom options. And again with the V10, or special order with the V10. So
yeah. So
that was awesome. But then, yeah, you know, had no need for the Ranger. Decided the Ranger, it was time for it to go. So went over to Ford dealership with my dad, because he was trying to order a F-150, you know, again, brand new, wanted a custom spec'd out and stuff like that. So we went to the dealership to order it. Saw this Mustang on the lot, and knowing that I had already wanted one, was kind of tracking to buy one anyways, you know, saw this. We finished up all the dealings with the F-150 order, and then said, you know, hey, I want to take that thing for a test drive. Took it for a test drive, came back, told him it's mine. I'm like, and it was just like that, you know, just bought it on the spot.
Yeah.
Came back with the Ranger the next day to trade in, do all the financing and all that stuff, and just like that, it was mine.
Yeah. Well, and the cool thing about it is so much, kind of as you said when the walk around, a lot of the stuff that you do is done to this.
Yeah, and I mean, not being completely familiar with, you know, this generation of Mustang, and, you know, kind of all the nuances of some of the mods and stuff like that you know, people have done, or, you know, what was considered stock. I'd almost assumed that because the car was only 2 years old and had like right around 20,000 miles, that it would be, you know, pretty stock, aside from, I knew the wheels weren't the same wheels that came on the car and stuff like that. So I knew it had a couple small things done to it, but it was really after I bought the car and started looking at it, you know, threw it up on the lift, saw all the different exhaust stuff under it and all the lowering stuff, and was like, wow, this thing has a lot of stuff done to it.
And good quality parts, though. Can't stress that enough about this car.
Yeah, I mean, it's all, you know, OEM, like GT 500 upgrade parts. Anything that's like aftermarket is like top quality aftermarket, like all the BMR and like name brand stuff. You know, it's not the off brand, you know, there's no eBay coilovers on this thing, or, you know, stuff like that. It's all the stuff that you'd really want to put on a car.
Yeah.
Especially if you're taking it to the track.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's my big thing. You know, you're going 100+ miles an hour on the road course. You don't want to put your life in jeopardy by running
some eBay specials,
some cheapo parts, and blow out a wheel bearing or anything like that while you're going on the tracks.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, it's really a beautiful car, and like the striping, because we would always talk about that. Remember that time we were walking back up the center of town and we saw that black? It was an actual Shelby, but we kind of thought it was yours because, you know, the only thing you don't have is those lower rocker stripes. But I mean, it's the stripes to me, especially with the white that you added, it really transforms the look. Because it just grabs your eye.
Yeah, because I feel like more often than not on these black Mustangs, you see people just go with like the murdered out, blacked out look, and having black wheels and black car and a lot of the black accents and tinted windows and stuff like that. You know, you see a lot of murdered out Mustangs, but I feel like the red stripes and the kind of GT 500 look really stands out. You don't see too many of these.
I totally agree. It's very classy looking, because I agree. I mean, you're huge into the trucks as well. I mean, no offense. I mean, I'm not really into the all blacked out thing, and you know, to me it's nice. You know, the black wheels, the performance pack wheels work so well on this, but again, adding that splash of color just kind of adds that little bit of extra, so it kind of works together, because black often looks filthy when it's got the slightest bit of brake dust and everything. I love the exhaust. So as we said, this is much like mine, it's an OEM GT 500 exhaust. And this, again, was on the car when you got it, but it's like the perfect blend of sound, but without any drone or anything like that.
Exactly. I mean, you can just hop in this car any time of the day, you know, take any road trip you want, driving to work, doing anything, and it's never loud and obnoxious.
Yeah.
It just has like that sweet spot in terms of, you know, volume, tone, everything.
And then add in that, because you have the Pro Cal.
Yeah. So that was probably one of the fewer mods that I've done, especially right off the bat when I got the car, got the Pro Cal tuner from F.O.R.D Racing. And you know, not only does it add a couple extra horsepower, adds a whole bunch of torque down low, you know, remaps the timing and takes advantage of the computer control like 4 valves on the Coyote and stuff like that. So you really get like a seat of the pants difference from that. But you know, being F.O.R.D Racing kept the remainder of my warranty with it, and also unlocked a whole bunch of cool options that they kind of baked into the software but had locked out from the factory. So being that it has electric cams or electronically controlled cams, you know, they're able to through software make it have a lopey idle, so sound like you put an actual different cam in it, and they can just change the tone of the exhaust electronically, which is really cool.
Well, and from what I understand, even if you cam a Coyote, they don't sound cammed. When you actually physically put a true cam, you don't really hear it. That's one of the gripes that I hear, and why people like those 3 valves and 2 valves, because the Coyote, like, you'll cam it, you'll get the performance benefits, but they don't sound. You do them in this. That's why a lot of guys just do the ghost tune, they call that. Ghost cam. Definitely adds a nice touch. It's fun, but you can shut it off if you don't want it anymore, right?
Yeah, I think the only downside is you have to shut it off every time you start the car, so you gotta press, you know, one of the buttons on the steering wheel. I haven't done it in years, so I don't remember exactly what button it is, but when you get in, you press and hold a button. It gives you some feedback to let you know that it disabled that.
Yeah.
You can ride around and not have it do that. So.
Yeah. It sounds awesome. It doesn't shake the car much. It just adds that nice lope.
Yeah. But then, you know, you pull into a parking lot or something like that, and I can't tell you how many guys have come up and been like, whoa, you must have like some crazy cam in that car. And I'm like, no, it's stock. And they just can't believe it.
Yeah. That's really cool. So then up here on the dash, that's Palmer Motorsports Park, right? Correct.
So when I first got the car, that was the first kind of road course that was recommended to me by some of my coworkers. You know, they saw that I got the car, saw it out in the parking lot, you know, told me I should sign up to go to do some track nights with them. So that was the first track out in Western Massachusetts, so probably an hour and a half away from where I lived. And I mean, that was back summer after I got the car, so 2016. I've been doing track nights at Palmer and then a whole bunch of other tracks in the New England area. I've done events at Lime Rock, Thompson, New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Got a couple more on the bucket list. Definitely want to come back down and do Roval at Charlotte.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a couple more down the East Coast. I know New Jersey's got some that do it.
Yeah.
Virginia International Raceway, you know. So I got a couple more tracks on the bucket list as we have time.
Yeah, absolutely. Time and money.
Time and money.
You know, it doesn't ride as hard as I remember. Maybe I'm used to mine now. I'm wondering if that's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, considering it has all the suspension stuff, it's fairly lowered. It's not like aggressive or jarring. It's a really nice ride.
And I also think some of the roads in our area from back home are a little not the nicest. So you've bottomed out a little bit.
To say the least.
Yeah. Corners, so nice. Wow. Oh yeah, see, that's the difference between the, yep, there it is. It's just that little bit, it just pulls.
Yeah, between the Coyote and then having the Track Pack 373 rear end, it just has a whole bunch of Yep. Which, you know, again, I think that's pretty impressive for a stock engine, and that's what supercharging my 3-valve would be like. A little bit more, because it'd be a little more power, but that to me is max. I don't want any more than that. Yeah, I think this car is really the sweet spot, the way it's set up with the, you know, naturally aspirated Coyote, the rear end and everything. It's just perfect for what I do.
Yeah. Well, and you know, you had this dynoed for kind of like a fun dyno day. It was almost 380, wasn't it, to the tires?
Correct, yeah. So it was, you know, factoring in losses and stuff like that, it was spot on what the ProCal tune was advertising, so.
Yeah. And that puts you, because the original Coyote, I think 11 and 12 was 412. Then it went to 420, I believe, in your Gen 13, 14.
Yep.
And then the Gen 2s were 435, so you're about 435, right?
Correct. Mods up my sleeve. Honestly, not a whole lot. You know, probably a lot of maintenance stuff. Yeah, so I guess, you know, it being a 7-year-old car now, used, taken to the track, definitely seeing some pitting on the paint and stuff like that. So I got a GT 500 hood. Want to put that in, repaint the front bumper, and do some, you know, aesthetic refresh kind of mods to it. You know, just to bring it back up to look a little bit nicer. But, you know, yeah, aside from that and some maintenance stuff, don't really have any plans to do mods and stuff like that to it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, it's just so set up it is. You've taken great care of it. It's kind of cool. It's used to do that, like an actual track pack is used.
Yeah.
All right, guys, so I think that's going to do it. I really appreciate it. John is one of the best guys out there. I appreciate him coming down. This is a surprise, bringing the car. I had no idea. So this was really cool. We got to do this, so thanks, John, for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. I'm glad the surprise was well worth it.
Oh, yeah.
hope you guys enjoyed the video.
Yeah, thanks so much, guys. We'll talk to you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Take care.